as you can see, I have already created a file called the Wild Pigs, but we're going to start a brand new file for Twitch, because I figure today and maybe Wednesday and maybe Friday, between these 3 days, we could probably finish everything that the game has right now, or at least get close to it. So we're going to make a new formicarium. We are going to be, so green is the color that I already used, so we're going to be blue. All right, we're going to be some blue ants. We're going to call this the Twitchicus formicus. All right, because formica, that means ant. Twitchicus formicus, that's what we're doing. All right, let's start it up, y'all. Oh, yeah. Waiting for the voice.
Ah, I see the Queen has taken well to her new home.
It's fascinating. She has already started to spawn. Incredible, really, that we found such a healthy specimen.
Our ant.
How long until
Got a
we
little
can expect
light
to
on the
see
end of my
interspecies
clicker.
polymorphism?
We should be patient and allow the colony to grow first. I've placed food nearby. Then we will introduce the Formica fusca and observe their reaction.
Excellent. Keep me updated on their progress.
Okay, so right now there are two main components to this game. There is the
Go on now, my
overworld.
little ants.
Oh,
You need space to grow. Dig, dig, dig.
give me a second, buddy. So we have the overworld. Is this like Civ just ants? It's very much like Sim Ant is what this game is like. So we have this overworld version of this where we take control of
Is
this
something
ant
wrong?
colony. Oh, quit yelling
I
at me.
provided them with food just a few centimeters south of the Queen, but
I'll just
they
go ahead
didn't
and do
seem
it.
to be interested.
Just to get him to
We
shut
are
his
too
mouth.
distressed to continue,
Um,
then we will have to replace the colony and start again.
So
Such a terrible waste.
this is the overworld map, where we kind of have one nest that we're slowly building up, and that's kind of like our main campaign set. Now, you also do challenges, and so that's what we're going to mostly be doing as well. But I don't. Can you pause? I don't know if you can pause in this game. I guess I could do this. So we have this overworld map. And that is like the main ant colony that we want to build and grow, because that's the colony that will persist through the higher and higher challenges of this game. We will also go do challenges where we'll go get, transported to other nests out in the wild or something like that. We take over those, and those are like one-time things. You're only building it up for that round. In here, the mechanics are a little bit different. We have a tech tree that we can use royal jelly to upgrade our ants. We have a territory limit and a ant limit. Hey! AJ Weary just subscribed. Thank you so much, AJ Weary. Drop them bears in chat, y'all. So in this mode, you're gonna notice if you look up here where I'm hovering, we have this little terrain number, all right? So we have a certain limited number of spaces that we can dig, and we earn more of those by doing challenges. So we have to be a little bit thoughtful about how we dig out our ant colony. In the regular challenge modes and whatnot, you don't have that limit. You don't have a limit on the amount of ants you can make. You don't have a limit on the terrain you can dig. Anyway, let's go ahead and do this. You dig areas out. Okay, and as you can see, our little ants, they're gathering food. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to dig a little bit out. We'll dig this way. I'm going to build out some chambers here. So we'll do something like this. And it's nice to have hexagonally shaped chambers because of the way that the upgrade system works in this game. So I'm going to quickly dig out an area and grow some ants. And then we will we'll move on from there. We'll build another hex here. Doot, doot, doot. And you can extend them like this, but as long as the shape maintains. All right. I know all this stuff, so don't worry. Whoa! That was like a double time. Jazz and a Tomato just resubbed for 16 months. Thank you so much, Jazz and a Tomato. Drop them bears, y'all. 16 months. My goodness. You've been around for a while. All right, so you can build a whole bunch of stuff with the food that you gather. First thing that we're going to build another couple of sets of worker ants. So let's get them going. Okay, so these are these little areas where those guys will spawn. Oh,
eggs.
Perfect. We will soon have a thriving colony.
indeed we will. So now, this area over here will constantly spawn ants up to the limit. So I now have 2 worker ant eggs here, right? So if any of those ants, those 2 ants dies, it'll immediately spend 5 resources and hatch another one. So that's how your numbers stay up. If you look at the bottom here, I have a set of 7 and a set of 2. And when I hover over this set of 7, you'll see how it highlights both on the minimap as well as on the screen right here. Look at the center of the screen. See how it's white? See that? So that's where those 7 are coming from, is that cluster of eggs. This 2 are coming from this cluster of eggs, right? And I can drag them across these different number groups, and those are how I can kind of order them around. So I can right-click and tell them, hey, get the rest of this food, you danguses, and they'll go get the rest of that food. So basically, this game is a modern version of SimAnt. Nice graphics, and just a really well-made system. So I'm going to probably make, I don't know, a handful. I want these ants. When am I going to get black ants? I need 75 royal jelly, they say. So we'll make a couple of these little guys, the worker ants. And then we'll go do a challenge map. And that's how you can actually see, like, really the way that the mechanics work. Because this overworld map is a little bit slow to get going because you have to unlock everything. I'm just going to continue to build chambers off of here. So if I do like that, it's not good with that, so we're going like this. I really like the music in this as well. Alright, here, cool. Now we have a nice cluster of 7 here. Oh, Tazder just donated. Yeah, thanks, Tazder. Really appreciate you. What you donate? $10. Let's kick these donations off nice and early today. Thank you so much, Tazder. Everybody, drop some bike shorts. Some excitement there. Thank you so much. That's really generous of you. All right, our food stores are full. We can no longer collect any extra food. So before we move on, I'll also do this. I'm going to build a larger food storage. So I'm going to do the same thing here that I've been doing. And then I'll show you the upgrade system. So you see this up arrow down here, this little guy down here? If I click on that, you can upgrade tiles. So I'm going to upgrade these food tiles. And as I do that, it's going to increase this number up here, the maximum number of food. So when you upgrade tiles, it's more of a kind of boost or a benefit than it might be to just build new tiles. So you often want to upgrade tiles. So I'm going to upgrade all of these, and you're going to see that this number is going to go up. You're also going to see, can you see how there's like that 7 of 12? AJ Weary just donated $20.23. I don't know why my donations are doing double sounds. Thank you so much. I personally like the sense, and just call me AJ. Thank you, AJ. All right, let me, I don't know why it's doing that. We're going to turn this off. We leave that on, Hopefully, it shouldn't make too much noise in the future. I don't know why it's doing that. It did it last week, too. Thank you so much, though. Drop them bike shorts. So anyway, upgrading tiles, very important. And then the other thing you're going to notice, I guess the last thing that we'll do, is we're going to head up here, and we're going to check out the overworld. So right now it's locked. It starts out locked for you. And you can come up here and you can unlock it. And then we'll be able to do going out onto the surface. But this surface is pretty barren because, as you can see, we're actually inside of a formicarium, an artificial nest. So you can see, like, off to the side, there's like little pipes and tubes and all kinds of stuff where they introduce things into our system. So, you know. But I think from there, let's just go on to the next mission. When are we going to play Civ 6? I'm not sure. So, we're going to click this button up here. Level selection. Choose a level. And we have these 3 challenges unlocked. The Formicarium challenge, that's actually going to challenge this nest. So we want to make sure that this nest is prepared when we do that. We're probably going to want to have 50 units because that's our maximum. We're probably going to want to have them all really highly upgraded. So we want to do these challenges to do that, because when you do these challenges, you earn points. So like easy, you earn points. hard, insane. You get a little bit more for each of the higher difficulties. I've just been playing on easy because the game does seem like there might be some balance issues, but also I'm still kind of like learning how to do it. The Cox, we did karaoke this last weekend. We did it on Saturday. So you earn these points, so you'll earn territory to continue to expand this nest. You'll earn food in order to help to grow this nest. And you'll earn royal jelly, which is what you use for upgrading things or unlocking things. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to do this new home challenge. Like I said, easy difficulty, and we'll just start. And we'll see how that goes. And if it's too easy, then, you know, we'll get around that.
This Formica Fusca queen has set up home beneath a rotting log. She is fat and vulnerable. Her first brood will move quickly.
Barry just donated $9.77.
Their priority
Normally
now
I
is to
donate
find
10,
food.
but need to even it out. Yay, day 11.
Plenty around.
Thanks, Merritt.
But there are other hungry creatures down here.
So silly, y'all.
The workers will need to be vigilant.
So you can see that we can sense through walls where food is, where threats are. So we can sense, okay, there's something here that's food. And then over here, okay, there's some food out there,
The
and then
ants have
there's
encountered a
something
pocket of
dangerous.
woodworm.
You know?
These defenseless weevil larvae will make an excellent meal for the colony. They will be butchered and carried off for processing.
Glad, Tazder. So now I'm building army ants or soldier ants, okay? Because on this map, I have unlocked the soldier ants. So I'm just going to start building a cluster of these guys down here so we can use them for going through and taking out all these baddies. Because as you look in the upper left, our mission is kill all nearby creatures. So we've got to take out everything. Is this a documentary? They teach you a little bit about ants in this game. Yeah, it's pretty great. And let's go ahead, because we know that there's free food right here. So we'll go ahead and dig that out. And there's also some free food down here. So that should help us to get a nice big chunk done here. Seems harsh, but it's nature's way. Indeed. Gosh, I wish I knew why my OBS did double alert sounds. Let me just look real quick. Properties of that one. Nope, that's just a GIF. Yeah, I only have one donation alert set up, so I don't know why it does that. It's weird. It's weird, y'all. Alright, let's continue. So, now that I have these couple of soldier ants, there's certain things that they won't do. They won't dig. They won't do, like, building of tiles and whatnot, so you need worker ants for those types of tasks. But the soldier ants, they do much more damage, so they're obviously, like, going to be your main melee units. As you get further into the game, right now there's only one other type of ant, I think, it's as far as I've seen, that you can get. The wood ant, which actually shoots formic acid, and so that... Oh, don't want to do two. I want to do one. There we go. And so those guys, they give you like ranged attacks, and so we have kind of eventually we'll have like different types of units, you know. What are the stretch goals? Our current stretch goal is if you hit 20k, Rick will somehow die happy on stream, and if we reach 25k, then Rick and Jazzy are gonna get matching chicken nugget tattoos. Sorry I got the sniffles. Today I've got a ruddy nose, but honestly that's probably better for me. Better than being stuffy. Alright, so again, I'm gonna try and get as much of this as I can, as many of these as I can with the free money first before we go start fighting other things, because things are gonna get out like crazy. Oh, and then 75 million, I'll play Bad Rats. That's right. That's right. Alright, I think I've gotten all the food that I can for free. So, we're going to take this group, I'm going to send them over here, and we're going to start attacking things. So let's dig this out. So we have a couple worker ants out in front of us right now.
The colony is starving. There's not enough food to feed the new brood.
Colony ain't starving. All right, so here we go. Got a big bad beetle larva.
The workers have uncovered carnivorous larvae of Ocypus olens, the devil's coach horse.
The
They are
devil's
born ready for
coach
combat,
horse.
with powerful slicing mandibles for chopping up their prey. They are still small, however, and must undergo a final pupation before their armor is fully developed. If the ants are fast, they should be able to overwhelm these critters.
So, this level in particular takes place entirely underground. As we go into the other levels, there will be overworld stuff where you have to like manage both stuff on the surface as well as stuff down below. Okay, let's go for the next one.
Predators are loose
Get
in
'em
the
out.
nest. The larvae must be protected.
Protect the larvae.
If the ants had disturbed the adult of these larvae, the outcome for the colony may not have been so fortunate.
I love the music in this game, by the way.
With caution.
It's like absolutely fitting. It's like a David Attenborough documentary about ants with that music. It's so good. All right, let's keep digging. We'll take out all these easy things, and then we'll start to head up north where I think things are going to get a little bit trickier. But overall,
Predators
this
are
level
loose in the
is, you know,
nest.
it's the first
The larvae
challenge mission,
must
so
be
it's pretty
protected.
straightforward. Try and keep our camera on here so I can get the light. I love that, like, the sound effects that they make. As someone with entomophobia, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Cheese Fighter. They're cute. They're cute little ants. There's actually a YouTube channel that I really, really like that's all about ant colonies, raising ants and stuff like that. I'd never do it because I'd be terrified that I would release ants into the world, but it's pretty neat. Hero number 0, overwhelming numbers. That's my confidence right there. Overwhelming numbers. So I'll probably fill this in mostly with ants, and then after that we will, I'll start upgrading them. And when they get upgrades, they also unlock like new abilities and stuff like that, like double, Ant Canada. Yes, KK, yes. It's such a good channel, Ants Canada. Mikey Bustos, that guy's cool. Hey, French, how's it going? Sam Karen, there's the Formicarium challenges are raids on your colony. The other challenges, this is where you're doing a separate
Predators are
colony.
loose
So there's
in
two
the
different
nest.
types,
The larvae must be protected.
which I like because this is your main way of achieving gathering of like extra food and other resources for the main colony is you do these missions. And so like you can repeat them if you want to. You get diminishing returns after the first mission, but it still is something that is useful. So as you can see here, we found some potato bugs, as people call them. I call them doodle bugs. The models on these look
wood lice
incredible.
will make a significant addition to the colony's lives.
Wood lice is, I guess,
They
what
are
people
clinging
call them.
tightly to the ground.
It's weird.
It's going
They
to
don't
take
fight
some
back,
effort to
but they
dislodge them.
do like dig themselves in, so they're harder to take out. Okay, how's it going? Give me all that food. You call them slaters? Ah, interesting. You know what? Just to help this along, I'm going to send the workers out there too. Oh, actually, you know what? No, I need to go back here because I need to build. All right. So I should probably build a food store. So let's do a little one of these. And build another one of you. Because we're getting so much food, I need to have a place to store it. Build all those, please. Thank you. Let's start upgrading these right away. You'll see that they have these numbers here. You have to have a certain number of tiles around them that are upgraded to upgrade them to each of the next levels. So you'll see it says 6 of 12 right there, but as these get upgraded, it's going to increase the numbers all around the radial. And once they're all fully upgraded, then the center one I can now upgrade to level 3. So that's the way the upgrade system works, is you have to upgrade tiles around a tile in order to be able to upgrade interior tiles. So that's why you want to build in the kind of
This
hexagonal
colony must
shape,
remain
because it
small
puts
for
them,
now.
it gives you
Food
the
is
biggest
too
center,
scarce to support greater numbers.
which means the biggest number of 3s. All right, let's get into this zone because we've got a bunch of free food here. Wood lice, love them. They're super cute. They are. When I was a kid, I used to play with doodlebugs all the time. Ours look different down in Texas. I imagine it's a different species. Because up here, they're more like these ones, these wood lice. They're this, like kind of flat and like frilly on the edges. That's what they're like in Oregon. In Texas, they're a little rounder, like the roly-poly kind. A little plumper. What kind of ants are these? These are, let's see. I think it tells you. Formica fusca. Formica fusca. Black ant soldiers. Yes, I believe that's what they are. Each of the types of ants in this, I believe they're based off of real ants because of the, it seems like the people who made this are really into it. Not looking forward to the hordes of insects attacking my overworld colony. We'll try and be as prepared as possible before we do that. All right, so I'm gonna dig straight up through these guys, I think, once we get all of this food, because we still have plenty of food that we can get. But we're doing just fine now. I shouldn't have been worried at the beginning. Look at those ants. Look at them go! I love how you get like little lights in the walls. Like these little crystals. It's just like an excuse from the developers to be like, well, we want to have some light in there in the tunnels. Okay. Build some more. Once we get out to like here-ish, I think that'll be good. And I'll just start upgrading them instead of getting more. Okay. Let's send everybody back to the center. I keep doing this right. I'm using the 2. It's a reflex. I'll just use 2 now. 2. Usually I like to have like worker ants on 1 and then my army ants on 2. And at some levels you have to use all the hotkeys. Alright. Let's get these guys all stacked up. Look at my little horde of 27 ants. Okay, here we go.
Predators are loose in the nest. The larvae must be protected.
Look at it. Took him out. Got nothing on me. Beetle larva. Think you're all cool? Devil's coach horse beetle larva. Not today. Dopamine salad. There was a little centipede and you'd have no idea how it got there. Hey, that happens sometimes. All right. Let's, like I said, a couple more. And then it's all going to upgrades. We'll finish out these 4. So another thing you can build, I'll go ahead and do this just to like show you guys. You can also build, essentially roads. These tiles that I'm putting down here, these are, your ants move faster on them. And remember how I said like how the upgrades, they are based on the tiles around them? Well, walls also count towards upgrades to a degree. So when you build in a corridor like this with the roads, sometimes this can actually be the best way in order to get nicely upgraded tiles. Because you can see this one was only a 5 of 6 because it doesn't have a wall right here. Now I can upgrade it because of this one being upgraded. But as you can see, it allowed me to upgrade these. So now my ants will move even faster along these paths. So you can build those throughout your network in order to get your ants around faster. And on our main colony, eventually we'll have almost every empty space. Every empty space, yeah, that's not a part of a nursery, we will have these like roads on because they move so much quicker. All right, looks like we got a nice big chunk of baddies over here. Let's take them on. On like Donkey Kong, y'all. Where my workers at? There they are. Okay. Let's get on up in here.
There are
Get 'em!
intruders in the nest.
Another thing that is sometimes a good idea to do is to try and, because once you open a path to the enemies, they will try and go for your nest, right? They're going to try and find your queen. So sometimes it's good to kind of like try and lure them into a big area so that you can surround them. Do the roads also benefit invading ants? No, as far as I can tell, they only benefit your own ants, which is really good. All right, and we'll get all this free food too. So this is going to help us to finish, I think, getting all these ants that we wanted. There we go. And like I said, future levels we will have more and different ants. But just overall for, you know, if you're like me and you love like nature documentaries and things like that, you'll probably love this game. It's incredible. All right, later, Dunk. Thank you for being here. And as you can see, when you have larger numbers of ants, you're able to carry away food so much faster that you're able to just kind of like build out of control. So a lot of times the levels really end up being about how quickly can you, or how can you manage your time so that you get your ants up and running faster so you can essentially be ahead of the curve when it comes to the enemy ants. All right, so now I'm upgrading some of my soldiers. And as you can see, we now have a couple of level 2s. And so what you're going to notice, maybe, it might be hard to see, but you might notice when we're looking at our soldiers fighting in a little bit, you might see some that are a little bit bigger. They'll have more health, they'll have more armor and damage, etc. All right, let's take on this group next. Speaking of food, you need to go get some. All right, Jimstone, see you in a bit. Okay, let's get all these ants up here. All right, workers, take me to the doom. Oh, need one more.
There are intruders
Get
in the
wrecked! Trying to see. I'm trying to look for the bigger ones. Can't quite see. It's fine. Makes you want to get an actual ant colony again. I mean, it's super interesting stuff, I think. All right, we'll take this out. Set this as our goal. Okay. And then it looks like... Okay, we got this area. Oh, by the way, this kind of tile, you see how it's kind of like stone looking? You can't dig through those. So you have to kind of dig around those. So those are kind of like the limiting borders of the map. So as you can see, like this area up here, there's only one entrance into this area up here. So it's kind of like the final zone. Okay, getting lots of food. Let's do some more upgrades. All right, got our first level 3 guy on the way. Or girl, right? Aren't all ants female? Most. I mean, not all, because obviously you have the mating ones. I know that like some insect species, that's how it works, right? They're like hive-based species, and they have like, I think it's all female, and then only for mating pairs are males. All right, let's head down this way, I think. Actually, no, let's go through here. Why not? Doot. You had one when you were in middle school, but sadly they died. That's a shame. Worker ants are usually male. Gotcha. Maybe I'm thinking bees.
Predators are loose in the nest.
Get 'em!
The larvae must be protected.
Surround them. So one thing to note about this game that I think might not be translated very well from me like playing it for like y'all watching this. Oh yeah, you can totally see that there are some that are bigger. Look, this guy's smaller. This guy's bigger. See that? So that guy's probably our level 3. Actually, if I hold Alt, you can see their health bars. So you can actually see next to them they have the symbol. So that's a level 3. That's level 2. That's level 1. So they have slightly different sizes. Micro in this game isn't really a thing. You don't like send your units all over the place and try and do huge crazy pincer strategies because you're not straight telling them what to do. When I do this, see how it's kind of like a little misty kind of gaseous thing? It's a pheromone, so it suggests that this is where they should go. So they listen, but as you can see, they're kind of like running back and forth, and they're doing all kinds of stuff. So they're never like fully on it. Once there's a threat though, and your pheromone is like near that threat, usually they just dive on it. Like they all come from everywhere, the ones that you're telling to go to that place. So yeah. Yeah, we don't need to go down that road, y'all.
There are intruders in the nest.
Also dig out this area in a second. I'll go ahead and I'll dig a new road. So we can go kind of like this way. Looks like he went that way. Okay. Let's get all these dudes.
There are intruders in the nest.
Isn't there a species of ant that has all the females with wings but the males don't? It might be, because I know that like they have what they call like the nuptial flights, which is when the proto queens, the princesses, I guess, I don't know what you call them, the ones that are going to be queens, they like fly around looking for their nests, like the place that they're gonna make their nests. It's really interesting stuff. There's a documentary, might be on Netflix. I might have just seen it on YouTube actually. Food stores are full. Oh, gotta get to upgrade. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. There's a really interesting documentary that I watched. I think it might just be on YouTube. Really good. Super interesting stuff. Ants. So now you can see we're starting to get a little bit more in the 3s. And so basically what's going to happen is like everything that's like in this center zone we'll be able to get up to level 3, and the stuff's on the edges we won't be able to. Alright, let's get all the rest of these. Proto-queen is the correct term. I believe also that particular species of ant is the species in classic sim ant. Gotcha. Gotcha. Flying ants are creepy. So in my parents' place, the entire time that they've lived there, we've had problems with carpenter ants. So I'm really familiar with carpenter ants. I actually had an infestation in my bedroom when I was a kid. I said when I was a kid, when I was a teenager. They were living in the walls because that's what carpenter ants do. And they started like falling from the vent onto my desk. And like I look up and they just like were bursting out of the vent, like onto the ceiling and onto the wall. It was, it was gross. Oh man. But that happens. That's nature for you. All right, I'm gonna turn this into my kill box for this next couple of sets of things. Yeah, it was one of those things because I was probably like 16 at the time or something like that. I was on the phone with somebody, and I remember I was just like sitting there, like at my desk, just like talking and stuff like that. And then like an ant fell in front of me. I was like, huh. And then another one, and I was like, what the heck? And like they just kept falling. I was like, what? And that's what I saw. It was gross. I was like, I gotta call you back. But it's fine because they're carpenter ants. Carpenter ants, at least as far as I've ever known, they don't bite or anything like that. Or I mean, they can bite, but it's like not like an issue. They don't like sting or anything. They're all about. They just eat your walls. All right, don't have enough food for that. So looks like we're good. So we got our guys in here. So what I'm gonna do is this is gonna be our one little bit of micro. I'm gonna send these guys back here. Okay. We're gonna send our workers forward to dig this out so that we can get this open. And I want to wait for whatever's in here to come down into this zone, and then I'm gonna send my worker ants or my army ants up there, my soldiers.
There are intruders in
Go,
the
go, go.
nest.
Wait. Let them get all the way in here. Let them get all the way in here.
The ants have stumbled into the path of a fully developed
See, there's a big
devil's
one.
coach horse beetle.
Let him in,
and
let him
it's
in.
hungry for breakfast. The beetle is almost 4 times
All right,
the
get it.
size of a black ant.
Get
and
it.
Protected by thick plates of external
big.
armor. Whilst it bites at the tiny defenders, it sprays
Got it,
foul-smelling
son.
secretions from the end of its raised abdomen, disorientating the ants.
All right, we got one more
The
set.
devil's coach horse is dead.
Last enemies.
Its corpse will provide food to support dozens of new brood.
So we'll get the rest of this
The
food.
colony is
We'll dig in
starving.
here. We'll
There's
be
not
done.
enough food to feed
Nature
the new
is
brood.
indeed freaky. Yeah, the hero number 0. Exactly. So like it's one of those ones where it's like it was gross and creepy having all those ants around, but like it they never bit or anything like that. So it was always just kind of like it was like a nuisance more than anything. I think like it was more an issue for my parents because they were like destroying their walls. All right, let's do this. I don't think they've had a problem with them recently. I think we got rid of that infestation. All right. Let's open up the last bit. We got all the food we're going to get. Yep. This is where you hope that you had enough food.
Predators are loose in the nest. The
Okay.
larvae must be protected.
We're going to wait for these. Ooh, they're gross. Go! Go, go, go. All right, perfect. Surround them in the center. So as you see, those big beetles, they spray, and it's like an area of effect attack, so you have to be careful about that. Take them out, though. Get them. Got him. Done. So that's the first map. We
This
fought
Formica fusca colony
all
has now
them
established
nerds.
itself as a rising power in the Undergrowth. Soon their territory will need to expand above ground, where new challenges await. For the time being, however, the Queen is safe.
The Queen is safe. All right. So you win, and then you pick a reward for your main colony. So it's like every time you play these maps, you earn something that you get to put towards building your other colony up to be bigger. So I love that mechanic because it gives you a reason to come back and play these missions over and over again. You're like making progress. You can pick extra food, extra territory, or extra royal jelly. So you see like each of these, you have a slightly different amount for that one resource. I personally think always pick the extra royal jelly. Royal jelly is how you buy upgrades. So I'm going to get the extra royal jelly for sure. All right, let's end level. Move on to the next one. Return to the Volmacadium.